cover World Cups and you see you're commentating and you're in your position right up in the gantry and you see them coming out.
Oh, brilliant. It's just, it is the best position and best job on the planet. I mean, every game that we've been lucky enough to do this World Cup, just before kick-off, I'll look to my left and look at the commentator and we'll look at each other and just kind of shrug our shoulders and say, is this not fantastic? And it is. It's amazing. Great seats, great view to watch a game and try and, give the listeners and viewers an insight into what's going on, And sometimes what I've tried to do, or you do try and do, is the camera can only tell you so much. So if you see other things maybe happening on the bench or things happening in another position, whether a right back position when in fact they're in the opposition box, things that are happening, I've learned you try need to keep an eye on the whole entire pitch, whereas if you're watching it on television, you can obviously only see what you can see. But in terms of the job itself, it's fantastic. It's just the best.
Is that the closest thing to playing the game that you felt?
It's just behind coaching and managing. Playing is the best by the proverbial mile. Nothing comes close to it. Next best is coaching and managing, and just behind that would be sitting in the halfway line talking about it.
See, I think that's probably part why you are so good at it, because what we hear when you commentate is that genuine passion for not just playing the game, but just being a fan and just loving it and picking up on all those individual things in the way that you do, and actually commentating on it not like a commentator, but just in the way that you would if you were with your mates or were sat with me when we're watching games. It's the same.
Yeah, well, we've been lucky enough to go to a few games we've not been working at, and we've both really enjoyed them as well. But there's some. I mean, for example, the Portugal-Morocco game. I mean, final whistle blew. I was buzzing, absolutely, and so was John. Buzzing. We could just the whole. You could actually feel kind of honoured to be there after what you saw, because Morocco were, and I'll tell you the gospel truth, my boys were bursting for Portugal because they're Portugal supporters, so we go to Portugal every year on a holiday, and half of me was wanting Portugal to win, but at the same time, dear me, what a game to be at, and you could not help but be delighted, impressed with Morocco.
I've got to tell the nation, if you haven't heard this story, John Champion, who's one of my favourite commentators, you two, when you sit together, John has his stats, doesn't he, that he has in front of him. And there was one moment, or there's many moments like this, where John's just about to unleash the world's greatest stat on the listeners, and you nick it. You nick it right off his page.
Oh, no, you should have told me what it was. Give me one, I could tell you what it was. It was what game was it? Oh, Woodsy, man.
One of the early games, wasn't it?
It was one of the
Netherlands or someone like that, was it?
It might have been one of the Netherlands
Ecuador
games.
Or something.
I can't remember. And obviously, something happened, somebody scored. And I can see it, and his phone lights up, and there's this stat comes through, and he has a read at it, and he's just about to enlighten the nation with his news. And I went, and I'll tell you something else, John. And I read the stat right off his phone. I read the stat right off his phone, and he just looked at me and he called me something that wouldn't go out live on radio.
I think we can all use our imagination.